The theater was buzzing with excitement, but when the boy stepped onto the stage, the room suddenly grew quiet. He was small, dressed in a faded shirt and worn-out shoes, and his nervous eyes darted across the audience. For a moment, it seemed as if the weight of the world sat on his shoulders. Nobody expected much. He looked too young, too fragile, and too poor to carry the kind of presence that could fill such a grand stage. Yet, when the first notes of Hotel California poured out of his lips, the silence deepened into something powerful, something that would stay with everyone in the room forever. His name was Miguel, a boy from a small fishing village in the Philippines. He had grown up surrounded by hardship. His father had left when he was very young, and his mother sold vegetables in the market just to keep food on the table. Miguel's only comfort was music. He would sit by the ocean with a borrowed guitar, strumming until his fingers hurt, singing to the waves as if they were his only audience. Sometimes neighbors would stop and listen, telling him he had a voice that could touch hearts. Still, Miguel never believed his gift could take him anywhere. The opportunity to audition came unexpectedly. A local teacher noticed Miguel singing outside the school gates and insisted he try out for a televised talent show. At first, Miguel was too afraid. He didn't have proper clothes, nor the confidence to stand in front of strangers. But his mother, with tears in her eyes, told him, "This might be the chance God has given you. Sing, hijo. Sing for all the nights we prayed for something better." Those words gave Miguel the courage to face his fears. When the day of the audition arrived, Miguel walked on stage with trembling hands. The judges smiled politely, though their expressions hinted at doubt. One of them even whispered to another, as if already convinced this would be another forgettable performance. Miguel caught sight of the golden buzzer sitting on the table, glowing like a distant dream he would never dare to touch. Then the music began. Miguel closed his eyes and let the first note escape. His voice was pure, raw, and filled with a kind of soul that only comes from struggle and longing. The crowd leaned in. By the time he reached the chorus, the theater had transformed. His voice soared, painting pictures of pain, resilience, and hope. The iconic words of Hotel California became something new in his hands, something that carried his story within them. It was not just a song anymore, it was a cry from the depths of his heart. The audience was motionless, breathless. Some wiped tears from their eyes. The judges, who had doubted him just moments before, sat stunned, their expressions softening with every note. When Miguel hit the final line, holding it with such power and emotion, the theater erupted in applause. People rose to their feet, clapping and cheering as if they had just witnessed something sacred. One judge pressed the golden buzzer without hesitation. Gold confetti rained down on the boy, who stood in disbelief, tears streaming down his face. He had never imagined such a moment was possible. The judges walked up to him on stage, hugging him, telling him his voice was a gift the world needed to hear. But Miguel's journey was not just about one performance. In the weeks that followed, he faced new challenges. Fame was overwhelming. He struggled to balance rehearsals with caring for his mother. There were times he felt the pressure would break him. Yet, he remembered the promise he had made to himself on that stage, to sing not for glory, but to give hope to anyone who had ever felt small, invisible, or forgotten. Each performance brought him closer to his dream, and each song carried pieces of his story. His village watched proudly, his mother cried tears of joy, and people around the world began to see him not just as a poor boy from the Philippines, but as a symbol of perseverance and hope. By the time the finals arrived, Miguel was no longer the shy boy who had walked on stage that first day. He was an artist who believed in himself, who understood that true power does not come from wealth or privilege, but from the courage to share your soul with the world. That night, as Miguel sang once more, the audience didn't just hear a boy singing Hotel California. They heard every sacrifice, every prayer, every dream carried within his voice. And when the final note faded, the world was speechless again. His story became more than just about music. It was about resilience, about believing in yourself even when no one else does, about finding strength in the very struggles that once tried to break you. Miguel walked off the stage with tears in his eyes, not because he had won, but because he had proved to himself and to everyone watching that dreams are never too far away. With a heart full of gratitude, he whispered a quiet promise, "This is only the beginning." And in that moment, the boy who once sang to the ocean waves became a voice for millions.